Hello there. Not often in fly fishing do we get to talk about something that's completely new. Oh, and be sure to stick to the end of the video because I got a really important message you're gonna wanna know. Now, some of you may have already heard of the Oro Syndicators. They're a family-owned and operated company out of Bozeman, Montana, and they make one of the most innovative indicators on the market today, hands down. I don't know what took so long for somebody to think about this particular type of indicator, but it's an indicator that goes right down the center of your line. And the two spheres just grew together and you just kind of cinch them up to keep them wherever you want on your line. It is quite the innovation. Doesn't tangle, doesn't twist, doesn't mar up your line. So what's super cool is they now have a new size. Nope, we're not talking about the teeny weeny size. So let me grab a little container here for you real quick. And by the way, I keep my Oros in these little containers just so they don't get squished with my tools and that type thing. So today, the Oros come in 4 sizes. You have the teeny weeny, itty bitty, like this right here. You can see how small that is. It's tiny. That's for like fishing really small midges or chironomids on a lake. And then you have their small size right here. Kind of see? It's probably size, I don't know, it's smaller than a dime. It's pretty small. Then you have your medium size Oros indicators. Now, typically I'll use this often on still water when I'm floating a balance leech or some heavier flies. I just kind of like the buoyancy and this size indicator. And I haven't really had any issues at all with these carrying fish because they are super lightweight. Then of course we have the large size Oros right here. And this has been the biggest they've made to date. Now, I recently went on a steelhead fishing trip and I had a couple of really heavy flies. And I talked to Patrick at Oros and I was like, you know, if you just had a little bit larger size for these super heavy tungsten bead type of flies, especially when you're doubling them up. And he goes, Dan, I got something for you. I got a surprise for you. Oros has made the next size up. I mean, this thing is freaking awesome. And to prove a point on just how lightweight these things are, I was fishing with them today using my 5-weight. So you can definitely feel these on a 5-weight, but they're not impossible to cast, right? They are heavier than the rest of the Oros indicators, but they're super lightweight. So these bad boys right here, these guys are made for the steelheaders in mind, right? You typically are using some pretty heavy beaded flies, tungsten beads, doubling them up a lot of times, and you need something that can float that heavy of a setup. And this is gonna do just that. This is far larger than even their larger size. So this was their largest size. Let's see if I can get here without dropping it. So you can see right here, that was their largest size. And now this right here is their new big size, extra big size Oros indicators. And I cannot wait to try them out. But again, I already had them out there today. Didn't really need something this big, but I am sure that these are gonna float my bigger flies. So now you have another option. These bobbers, these indicators are great. They go right down the center of the line. So you just unscrew the 2 spheres like this. You bring your line right down the center. You can see how they're kind of ribbed here. Tighten them down. It just squeezes right in the line and they do not move. So they're really easy, both if you're using traditional fishing or fly fishing. These indicators will work exceptionally well floating super heavy things in rivers. Okay, so the important message, right? Let's support family-owned companies. There's a patent pending on this design, Patrick's design. Oros innovated this design, brought it to market. But there are some others that may be copying this design. Let's support family-owned companies and purchase these style indicators from Oros. Plus, they're better. We did a little test on some of the other indicators that are coming out that are very similar. These are 40 to 50% lighter weight than what's coming out in the market here shortly. So support family-owned companies, support Oros. I know that they will appreciate it. I'll leave a link down in the pinned comment if you want to pick up some of these for yourself. Hopefully by the time that this video releases, they'll be ready to go. All right, well, thanks for joining me on today's video. And hey, if you're looking for a new pair of waders, watch this before making your decision, because I think you might find these waders might be right for you. High quality, 40% less than any other brand name out there. And again, you're supporting a family-owned company. Well, thanks so much for joining me on today's video. And until the next time, fish on.